Hi again, everyone. Question. I have a lot of questions from my students, and I do have a website. It's called RoyDrive.com. And sometimes I get posts from someone asking questions, and my website is in fact about driving anxiety. It's about road test procedures and how to pass your road test, but it's structured largely on driving anxiety, and that is called RoyDrive.com. Now, next question I am going to address is highway and bridges. Someone says, I was driving over a bridge, and on my way over the bridge, it was fine, but on the way back, I had a panic attack and I had to stop in the middle of the bridge. This is no different from going on the highway, and before you get to the next exit, you have to pull off to the side of the road and stop. The very same thing. Now, before I continue, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel, which is Roy Drive, and give a thumbs up on the videos and click on that bell. Thank you. Now, back to the subject about the bridge. Going over the bridge, initially speaking, was fine. Returning and coming back over the bridge, the person panicked, and a panic attack is not a normal, state of nervousness, fear. A panic attack is when you lose control of your desires, what you intend to do, and your body takes control. Your body will shake, your palms will get very sweaty, you will lose all rational thinking, even though you know that you're losing control. You're unable to stop yourself from the negative impact that the emotions have on you during that event that you're going through. For example, being stopped on the bridge or on the highway. So we call that a panic attack. A panic attack also renders you... I had a student on a road test one time who had a panic attack, and that young man would not get out of the car. He was convulsing, panting, breathing heavy. His nose was running, his eye was crying, and I could not get him out of the car for at least a half an hour. Matter of fact, I had to call an ambulance, and the police came to get him to get out of the vehicle, and we had to use 3 people to get him out of the vehicle, unfortunately by force, because he was banging his head against the steering wheel, which caused the potential to hurt himself, and so we had to restrain him and put him on a stretcher. Now that is an example of a panic attack. Yours may not have been as severe as that, but a panic attack is like that, when you've lost all rational control of what you know you should have been in control of. Now back to the bridge. The thing about bridges and highway is there is a sense, I've addressed this before, there's a sense that there is no escape. It's a little bit like claustrophobia. You're stuck in a room, you realize the doors are closed, the windows are closed or locked, and immediately a panic sets in because you think there's no way out, and you think everything must be under your control. And if it's not under your control, despite other people being there and other people being in a relaxed state of mind, you begin to panic because you think if something is not necessarily under your control, that it's going to turn out to be detrimental to you. So when you're crossing over the bridge, always do not look down on the road, look far ahead. Far ahead means you're always looking 300, 500 feet ahead, as far as you can visually perceive. Because the bridge will end sooner than you expect the bridge to end, or your feelings will last, or you sense that you're holding your breath. Same as on the highway. You look towards where you want to be, the next exit. When you're on the highway, you might find yourself slowing down more and the more and the more and the more. This is how you happen to have stopped on the bridge, because the sense that you're losing control more and more and more automatically causes you to start slowing down more and the more and the more. This way you stop the flow of bad thoughts or ideas that makes you feel the way you do. And by stopping, the rush, although it's an irrational one, tends to come to an end, despite there's present danger of stopping on the bridge or on the highway. But when you're anxious or you're developing this panic sensation, you do not see or perceive that there's danger outside of what you are perceiving to be dangerous. This is when you look outside of yourself at the person next to you. Are they panicking? Look at the other drivers next to you. They're going over the bridge just fine. I'll give you another example. When I was a young fella, finishing high school, my driving instructor never took my driving class on the highway even once. When I got my license, it took me almost 10 attempts, no exaggeration, 10 attempts to go on the highway. Every time I attempted to go on one, I'd say, no, I can't do it. If only my driving instructor had taken me on the highway even once, I would have developed that confidence, that initial phase that says, you've done it before. This is just the second time, and the second time you do something always becomes easier. This is what practice is. Practice is overcoming obstacles and making them easier and easier and easier to execute. I got on the highway on my 10th time, following behind what I consider to be an old lady. I said to myself, if she can do it at 80 years old and I'm 17 years old, I think I can do it too. And I was by myself, and trust me, I felt the same way that you might. I was sweating, I was nervous, and I felt that my entire world was about to end. But I stuck behind her and I said to myself, this is what I want, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow her. She's going to be my teacher. I followed behind her. I got on the highway, all very, very anxious and jittery, but I followed behind her and I got on, and I was so relieved. When I got on, everything seems to have melted away. The fear that I had that kept me from going on for 9 times, it just melted away, and I felt so joyous. I continued on the highway for almost 5 miles before I turned around and came back. It was such a relief just to be on. And that was the difficulty, just getting on. So just like me, my experience, you may not have been able to overcome that initial phase by yourself. This is why you need to have somebody to encourage you, to say, you're doing the correct thing. Continue. So just when you're going over that bridge, you need that person sitting by your side who says, yes, that is it. Keep going. You're doing great. And look at me, I'm relaxed, and I think you can do it as well. Now, I want you to go out there, feel the same way I did, be inspired, even without someone next to you, because desire, will, those are motivational factors that can get you to overcome almost every obstacle on driving. This is not the end of our videos. There's more to come to motivate you to get where you want to be. So, don't forget to subscribe, like the videos, I'll see you again soon.